Wow, welcome. Hi, everybody. Valerie McSorley here with an episode of BUZZWORTHY, where we talk about people doing interesting things in the contact center space. And today, I'm here at Gillette Stadium. So exciting to be here with Laura Noonan, partner and chief revenue officer of CallFinder. Laura.
Yes,
great to see
Valerie.
you.
And
So fun.
very fun because the first time I met you was in this very location.
That's right. Many years ago.
Many years ago. And we've recently reconnected in different parts of the country, and very thrilled to be here working with you today.
Awesome. Yes, we saw each other in Austin.
Yes.
And it was such a pleasure. I turned around and I couldn't believe my eyes. You were standing right there. I just
Familiar
never expected
face.
to see you. Yeah. Well, that's what's really nice about this industry, right? People might leave their center, they might leave their technology partner, but they don't leave the industry. So I think that makes it really nice for people to have that continuity, and relationships are everything.
And that's why I never forgot your name or your face, because your connection and your service focus really left an impression on me, as I've told you before, when we first met all those years ago. So
That's really nice. I really love hearing that, because it's important. It's important that we work strategically, I think, and treat the ecosystem has to work together as partners, right? In a very
Absolutely.
strategic way. I think more than ever right now, with the explosion of AI and technology, all of your partners need to be aligned, unified in message, on the same page, on the same level as the service, right? That's
Correct.
difficult to find partners that you really fit with well.
I agree. And I think strong personal connections are really important, and really even more so now because of all of the AI injection that's kind of weaving into the contact centers. We can't forget about those personal connections that form those relationships and the trust.
Yes, relationships matter, trust matters. I mean, trust is something so delicate and fragile, like it takes years to develop trust, years
Absolutely.
to build those relationships, and they can fracture in an instant, and you can make repairs, but they never quite go back together the way that they once were, right?
Completely agree.
Right.
I
So
completely
it's really important
agree.
that we work with trusted partners. So when you're working with partners, what's some of the criteria that you look for? How do you evaluate good partners for CallFinder?
Well, for us, it's really about finding alignment on our respective values. And for CallFinder, one of our core values is being everyone on the team at CallFinder being united in a client-focused way in everything we do to serve the client's needs. That's really the center of our philosophy. So we're looking for a similar approach from our partners. Really, at CallFinder, our clients are treated with an extremely high amount of personal connection and support and customization, and looking at it as a long-term relationship, not an initial connection that we then sort of fall away from over time. And so, again, we're looking for partners that have a similar value set with respect to how they serve their clients. Are they serving their clients? Are they serving themselves? So we're really looking more for the former.
Very important. And what's some of that criteria? How do you help to determine that? Do you do your research around them? Do you ask for client references? Like, what goes into that process? Because there's a lot of pieces to that. It's easy to find some partners, but it's harder to find just the right fit. It's very unique.
It's very true. I'd say there is a lot to it. Of course, longevity of their client base is certainly an area that we try to understand better. And honestly, even just over the course of conversations, how they speak about their clients,
Yes.
what they know about
Yes.
their clients,
Yes.
what the stories are they're able to describe of how they're bringing value and how they've impacted their clients' businesses is really what helps us to round out, like, is this a fit for us? Do we have alignment?
And is there pride when they talk about that?
Of
the
course.
results? Is
Of
there,
course.
You can feel that, right?
You can.
It's just like in the contact center, you can hear a smile, you can feel it. So I really appreciate that. I think that's really important that as we continue to build on these tech stacks, where we fit in, where the products fit in, where the vision fits in, where the all the pieces that make all of this possible work together.
I agree. And ultimately, though, right, it's people meeting other people, people supporting other people. And authenticity matters. Follow through matters on what you claim to do, and following through and doing that through and through. And the people connections are still a big part of the picture. Of course, the AI is here to help us be more efficient, but AI isn't going to make a personal connection with anyone.
Right. So authenticity is at a premium. I could not agree with you more. And yet, at the end of the day, we are humans having a human experience. And the AI is just supposed to make us a little better. It's not supposed to replace us, which is a big fear and concern.
Absolutely.
So where would you measure your temperament right now around AI? Would you say you're full enthusiastically running full towards it, full steam? Are you a little more on the apprehensive part of the journey? Are you afraid? Like, where would you measure yourself?
I would say I'm somewhere in the middle. I utilize AI myself personally to a degree. Experimentally, I would say. On the professional side, we have been, weaving it into different aspects of our operations. But again, I'd say more on the careful approach. Trust but verify maybe is even too giving it too much credit, because I don't think the full trust is there. Because again, each one of our clients is critical to us. So everything we do, we're giving thought to that relationship with the client, and we don't want to disrupt everything we've built here at CallFinder. So it's a learning experience for sure. I do think that there are positive elements, but also back on a personal level, I do have some personal concerns just about what AI is able to create, to, fabricate.
Yes.
Real life, which is never going to be a shared experience with AI. It can't share our experiences, and the fabrication and the truthfulness and navigating that gives me some concern where that's all headed.
I think we all have grave concerns on that angle, because we don't know, and we're starting to see, AI mask our voices, mask our image, in videos and all types of formats, and it is very scary. So that authenticity combined with, is this real? It's getting better and better, and it hasn't been around that long.
It has not.
So
it's moving so rapidly.
I'm thinking about, the next 6 months, the next 6 years.
Oh, I can't even imagine the next 6 years, right? I mean, that's hard to contemplate at the pace at which things are advancing.
It's scary. It's very, very scary. So, and I think it's also terrifying, the idea of not being able to speak to a live person if you really have a problem, and being stuck in an endless loop of AI and chatbots. I think that's terrifying, as from the point of a consumer. It has me rethinking, who do I not want to have a problem with in terms of subscriptions, in terms of, how do you get results? How do you get answers?
It's true. I just had an airline experience in April, and I needed to change a flight. And so I went on the app, and it said you can change your flight on the app, which led me to a chatbot, which put me in a repetitive loop. And I was concerned that if I executed it on this, kind of chatbot process, was I really going to get on the flight I needed and have a guaranteed seat? Because it said I was going to have to check in with an agent. No thanks. So it was difficult, but I did find myself a phone number to call. Took some work. I just knew in my gut, if I can get a hold of a live person, I'm going to get exactly what I need. I'm going to have no concerns that I'm going to have a guaranteed seat. And this all took probably 35 minutes of a phone tree, a circular loop on the phone tree, the chatbot loop. Then they kept pointing me to the phone tree, IVR, and the chatbot. So I finally broke my way through to a live agent, and she had me set up in under 5 minutes.
Wow. Now, were you on the road?
I was on the road.
Yes, which adds another layer of stress and anxiety, because if you canceled that flight and you didn't have another one,
Exactly.
and now I don't know where you were, but you were far.
I was all the way in Las Vegas.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Living
And
Vita
then
Las
what?
Vegas.
Right. That's the last thing that you need. No one likes
Exactly.
surprises, especially with their, which I'm going to guess might be a red eye home from Vegas, because those flights coming back are always challenging.
I didn't have one, and I didn't want to be put on one. That's for sure. So yes, it's an interesting time. AI certainly has so much to offer, but we can't lose sight of the skills and the adaptability of humans on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that connection. Right now I have a sense of loyalty to that particular airline brand, because once I finally had that human connection, and they did such a tremendous job, right? I know, well, if I'm in a bind,
Makes you feel secure.
they'll make it
'Cause
work.
I had a similar experience that I did not have the results that you had, and I was far away from home, and I went up to the counter. I was actually at the airport, and the human being at the counter couldn't help me and sent me to the app.
Oh, boy.
And I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, but you're right here, sir, and you can help me. And I got put into this app, into this queue, over an hour. So now I'm literally like in a cold sweat. Like, am I going to miss my flight?
Right.
Am I going, what am I supposed to do? And it was a big challenge. So I finally I actually kind of just said, this is a little crazy. And I went back up to the counter. I said, I've been on hold here for now, like going on 40 minutes.
Right.
I really need help. Like, it's getting closer and closer to my flight time. Please, can you help me? Mm-hmm. So I'll be curious to swap what airlines this was.
Yes.
We won't mention it.
Off the
while
record.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll strike that from the testimony, but I'll be curious to swap that with you when we're done here.
And that goes back to the concern, is AI, did that make a better customer experience for you? Or did it diminish the experience? So that's the balance I think we really have to keep in the forefront.
Well, I think it's also then what's feeding the AI and where it's getting the information. Is the information correct? Because it's always going to give you an answer. Is it
Very
the right
true.
answer? Is it trust? Now think about how many people call in. They get an answer from an agent. They may not like the answer. They may not like, and they call again, right? Is the AI like going to take that place, and then you're going to call to confirm if the AI was correct? I also think another problem is transparency with the customers. I think customers want to know what they're engaging with, right?
I agree with that 100%.
If I'm engaging with the chatbot, I want to know. You can usually tell right away.
You can, but they're getting better.
Even the voice is getting. I was at a conference, an industry conference, and they played two short, like 10, 15 second clips. One was a human and one was AI, and they asked for the audience to respond which they thought was which. And most people got it wrong.
Wow.
So, and these are people that are in the industry. So.
Well, we're human.
For a little bit longer.
No AI here in this chair.